Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on the Humble Bundle 15 for 15 Black Friday bundle of November 2025. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and support the channel in the process. Before we begin, I'd like to thank you the viewers for watching my silly videos. I hope they're helpful. Most importantly, knowing that you're watching it means the world. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Endling, Extinction is Forever, an unapologetically impactful game that aims to make you confront the harsh realities of survival in a world devastated by climate change. Developed by Hero Beat Studios, the game thrusts you into a role of a pregnant fox, navigating a desolate landscape to ensure the survival of your cubs. The narrative is brutally honest, presenting the challenges of finding food, avoiding danger, and teaching your offspring crucial survival skills. The game's commitment to authenticity is commendable, avoiding the typical protective bubble around cute creatures seen in other titles. Instead, Endling delivers a visceral experience, exemplified by the heart-wrenching moment when the mother fox fails and the neck-snapping sound echoes through the gameplay. Endling excels at creating tension, forcing you to make tough decisions in the face of scarcity. The realistic portrayal of a changing environment, with diminishing food sources and the impact of climate change, adds a layer of depth to the gameplay. The emotional weight is palpable as you witness the consequences of your choices, emphasizing the gravity of the ecological message the developers aim to convey. While the game doesn't shy away from the grim aspects of survival, it also includes moments of kindness and unexpected alliances, demonstrating the complexity of the world it depicts. Hero Beat Studios succeeds in avoiding a simplistic good versus evil narrative, presenting the characters as survivors, doing whatever it takes to endure in a dystopian future. Endling, Extinction is Forever, challenges players to reflect on their future and their role in preventing further environmental degradation. The game's realism and uncomfortable moments make it a unique and thought-provoking experience for those willing to confront the harsh realities it presents. At number 2 we have Creaks, a puzzle platformer game. You play as just some bloke trying to get some reading in before bedtime. Suddenly, a loud thud rattles the whole house, causing a piece of the wallpaper to fall off. Behind the wallpaper, a metal door awaits, leading to a secret passageway. Of course, being a simple bloke, you crawl in and investigate what is beneath your home. It turns out you have a whole society underneath you, from dilapidated mansions to a small town, home to various bird people, monsters, and robots called Creaks. I wouldn't recommend touching them though, as a single touch will send you straight to hell. Your only salvation underground is light. Creaks are afraid of light, as it turns them into harmless furniture if it touches them, furniture that you can use to solve puzzles. You control your character directly, and there's no inventory system to worry about. The game progresses through individual scenes with its own self-contained puzzles. This means that if you're stuck in a puzzle, it doesn't mean that you have missed an item from 5 areas ago. It just means that you need to think harder about what's around you to solve it. Solutions often teach new twists on the rules, creating some eureka moments to expand your solution pool. The story is not told via dialogue, as characters will simply make intelligible noises. Rather, the various scenes presented to you as you move from one puzzle to the next tells a story about the eerie world. While playing through each puzzle, you may find hidden rooms off the beaten path to provide you with some respite. You can find oil paintings, with some even containing minigames. This game is very imaginative, and it will keep you playing just to see what you'll encounter next. It's a beautiful world, waiting for you to solve your way through and explore. At number 3 we have Trinity Fusion, a captivating dive into the realm of roguelites, seamlessly blending elements from 2D Metroid titles with swords, techno-magic, and multiverse complexity. In this dystopian adventure, you traverse gritty landscapes, battling relentless waves of monsters to restore order to a multiverse exploited for resources. The narrative unfolds amid a chaotic experiment gone awry, leading to robot uprisings, giant bugs, and interdimensional havoc. As Maya, collaborating with alternate selves, you attempt to correct the disastrous consequences of humanity's resource harvesting endeavors. The game introduces 3 heroines, each with distinct abilities and weaponry. Combat mechanics are smooth, offering satisfying combos, animation cancelling, and the thrill of experimenting with various weapons and techno-magic abilities. Upgrades and permanent buffs, purchasable between runs, contribute to the challenge's fairness. Trinity Fusion's levels showcase diverse roguelite structures, featuring room variations and secret areas that add replay value. While balancing issues arise during level transitions, the game's enrapturing combat compensates for occasional missteps. The variety of weapons and abilities, coupled with visually striking enemy designs, contribute to the game's charm. The synthwave soundtrack complements the moody atmosphere, enhancing the overall experience. Despite minor balancing concerns and occasional quirks, Trinity Fusion's captivating combat, diverse levels, and sci-fi aesthetics make it a compelling addition to the roguelike genre. As you embark on this multiversal journey, the game's staying power becomes evident, promising an engaging and stylish experience for fans of the genre and sci-fi enthusiasts alike. At number 4 we have Turbo Kid, a post-apocalyptic bike-powered Metroidvania where you pedal, blast, and trick jump your way across a mutant-infested wasteland. You start with nothing but a weak blaster and a dream, but soon you're double jumping, launching off half-pipes, and shredding through enemies like a BMX warrior on a mission. You'll explore a dangerous open world packed of cults, traps, and stylish arena fights. The moment you unlock your bike, the game hits another gear. Mobility becomes a joy. Your ride is not just for speed, it is a full gameplay mechanic, letting you pull off stunts, climb half-pipes, and navigate previously unreachable terrain. It is rare that movement feels this satisfying in a Metroidvania. Each weapon chip you collect adds new tactical options, from ricocheting saw blades to chain lightning, and mastering them is key to surviving the game's intense boss fights. Exploration is dense and rewarding. Upgrades, bike challenges, trick competitions, and health boosts are scattered across the wasteland, tempting you to keep pushing forward. That said, the early game can feel sluggish. You're on foot too long before unlocking your bike, and some of the collectible lore, while flavorful, can feel underwhelming next to real rewards. Still, once the game opens up, you'll hardly notice. If you love the genre and want something fresh, Turbo Kid delivers with style, variety, and pure momentum. You'll be launching off ramps, dodging lasers, and giggling the whole ride through. Just hang in there for that glorious first pedal, and never look back. At number 5 we have Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom, a vibrant, hyperactive 3D platformer that reimagines early 2000s collectathon gameplay with a modern twist. You play as a spring-powered yellow taxi, tasked with recovering green gears and navigating quirky levels while dodging the chaos caused by corrupted vehicles. This is not your typical platformer. There is no jump button. Instead, you master physics-based movement with creative techniques like dashes, flips, and bounces. Success depends on refining your skills, offering a rewarding learning curve that feels both nostalgic and fresh. Each level delivers something unique: obstacle courses, exploration zones, or crazy taxi-inspired missions where you deliver fares and collect clocks to extend your timer. Visually, the game blends retro-inspired 3D aesthetics with vibrant whimsical environments, reminiscent of Katamari Damacy. Its sound design is just as compelling, from energetic fanfares to an eclectic soundtrack that sets the mood for every chaotic turn. Despite its humor being hit or miss, the quirky characters and absurd scenarios add charm. Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom stands out for its polished mechanics, fun variety, and creative spirit. While some gears might seem madly out of reach, the game's sheer playfulness keeps you coming back. It's a complete package that does not just mimic its inspirations, it elevates them. If you're up for a fast-paced, skill-driven adventure, this is a ride worth taking. At number 6 we have Happy's Humble Burger Farm, a surreal blend of fast food simulation and horror that delivers a bizarre, engrossing experience. As a worker trapped in a corporate-run simulation, you'll juggle the monotony of flipping burgers with unraveling the dark mystery of your synthetic prison. Released in 2021, this quirky horror title challenges you to survive and escape a nightmarish reality. From the outset, it is clear that something is amiss. Faceless customers, strange mascots with sinister pasts, and eerie urban landscapes immerse you in a dystopian satire of corporate greed. Every shift at the burger joint is fraught with danger, as preparing food becomes a test of skill and nerves. The thrill of solving horrific encounters by making sandwiches under duress is as unique as it is ingenious. Beyond the work shifts, you can explore the Truman Show-like city of New Elysium, uncovering clues about your fabricated world through flyers, radio shows, and other media. The narrative balances absurd humor with genuine horror, creating a rich, unsettling atmosphere. While the game's fast food mechanics are central, they do not dominate the experience as much as you might expect. The 4 to 6 hour campaign keeps the gameplay varied, introducing twists to keep you engaged. For those seeking a more focused fast food simulation, an unlockable endless mode adds replayability. Although some mechanics are overly forgiving and minor bugs persist, Happy's Humble Burger Farm remains a standout indie gem. If you're ready to don the apron and face its surreal horrors, this is one fast food job you won't forget. And number 7 we have Degrees of Separation, a puzzle platformer that follows Ember and Rhyme, a couple separated by a mysterious magical barrier. The game's core message is that love conquers all, akin to a fairy tale where Ember uses fire and heat, and Rhyme uses ice and coal to solve puzzles and gather scarves. A strong narrative, fed through a narrator, accompanies your journey, sometimes holding subtle clues to puzzle solutions. The excellent narration, combined with a fantastic score, including a lovely piano piece on the title screen, gives you a warm feeling, perfectly complementing the overall experience. The artwork is also beautiful, skillfully using warm colors for Ember's world and cool colors for Rhyme's, vividly illustrating the polarization of their lives. The puzzles themselves are generally fun and enjoyable, challenging you to master the combined use of the two elements. While most are not overly taxing, a few can certainly cause a hair-tearing session due to non-obvious solutions. Fortunately, you don't need to be a completionist and collect every scarf to unlock new sections, offering flexibility if you get stuck or frustrated. Unfortunately, the game is not without its issues. The AI, which you can command to follow, is often unintuitive. If you're on a different level, the AI frequently moves directly below you instead of climbing a nearby rope, leading to frustration. Furthermore, collecting the abundance of scarves feels like a tedious banal side quest, a point the game evenly annoyingly references in one of the narrated readings. More seriously, some bugs cause you to restart the game, such as characters falling through the floor after jumping into a wall. Additionally, Rhyme's ability to freeze objects in water, integral to some puzzles, occasionally stops working, forcing a complete restart and a painful trek back to the last checkpoint, as there is no option to jump directly to the furthest fast travel stone. Despite these technical annoyances, Degrees of Separation is a visually and narratively lovely game, but its flaws make it difficult to focus solely on the beauty of its underlying story. And number 8 we have Eternal Threads, a first-person puzzle game that puts you into the aftermath of a devastating house fire that has killed 6 housemates. Working for a powerful organization, you possess the unique ability to travel back in time and observe the 8-day timeline leading up to the tragedy. The game's premise is to watch various memories unfold, offering you complete freedom to start from the beginning, move backward, or jump into the middle of a timeline to uncover corruption points. These points are crucial moments where it can intervene, suggesting an alternative choice to alter the outcome and save the lives of the housemates. The main objective is to affect the lives just enough to ensure everyone survives, a task that demands significant patience. If you expect quick resolutions, Eternal Threads is not for you. Answers are not easily handed out, and altering one corruption point might require you to revisit and change others to achieve the ultimate goal. The game's setting in England, with recognizable vernacular and general attitudes, like watching football or nipping down the local for a pint, makes the world feel grounded and relatable. You start to care deeply about the intriguing characters, Ben and Jenny, dealing with an unexpected pregnancy, Raquel, masking sadness with a party lifestyle, Tom, the landlord struggling with blackmail, and Linda, adjusting to life after leaving her husband. Even if Neil, the abrasive housemate, starts to grate on your nerves, you remain invested in keeping them all safe. While the story is well written and full of intrigue, and the vast range of connecting events offers genuine surprises, the visual repetition can be a drawback. The entire experience takes place solely within the fire-damaged house, meaning you repeatedly navigate the same rooms, which can feel laborious. If you are patient and willing to stick with the story, the voyeuristic nature and the urgency to save these characters will keep you fascinated, despite the slow repetitive moments and the constant sense of dread hanging over your head. And number 9 we have Brewmaster, Beer Brewing Simulator, a game that immerses you in the art and science of brewing beer, offering a detailed yet approachable simulation. The game invites you to experiment with recipes, master brewing techniques, and craft your perfect beer. Whether you're a beer enthusiast or simply enjoy relaxing simulators, this game promises an enjoyable experience. The gameplay begins with a guided tutorial in Brewmaster mode, teaching you the basics of brewing. From heating water to adding malts, grains, and hops, every step is methodical yet rewarding. Fast-forward features help manage time-intensive processes, like boiling or fermenting. Once your brew is ready, you can customize its label, choose its bottle, and submit it for competitions, adding a creative touch. For those seeking more freedom, Free Play mode lets you dive into brewing with all ingredients and tools unlocked. However, it is best to familiarize yourself with the guided mode first, as the wealth of options can feel overwhelming. The game shines in its attention to detail, offering a wealth of knowledge about brewing. You'll learn about flavors, SRM levels, and other intricacies while crafting increasingly complex beers. Yet, the gameplay remains forgiving, allowing experimentation without harsh penalties. Beyond brewing, you can decorate your home and display awards, adding a personal flair. Brewmaster offers great value with its relaxing pace and educational insights. While not a perfect simulation, it's a delightful introduction to brewing that celebrates creativity and craftsmanship. At number 10 we have One Hand Clapping, a unique and innovative platformer game that uses voice activation as its main game mechanic. You play as a little character who needs to get from point A to point B in a traditional platformer fashion. You'll encounter puzzles scattered throughout the levels that are voice activated, making for some unique and exciting gameplay. The game starts with simple voice controls, like singing a high or low note to move the elevator up or down, but as you progress, the puzzles become increasingly more complex. One Hand Clapping is beautifully crafted with a world that conveys a variety of moods and emotions, and a difficulty scaling that allows anyone to play, even if they can't carry a tune. However, the platforming aspect of the game can be a bit lackluster, and the character movement can feel slow and sluggish at times. Despite this, the voice controls are nothing short of spectacular, and they are fine-tuned for both elegant serenading and operatic caterwauling, making the game a blast to play with friends. Overall, One Hand Clapping is an impressive and fresh take on the platformer genre, and it's a game that will make you wonder, why didn't you think of voice controls sooner? While it could have been a more solid platformer, taught singing, or created deeper melodies to convey a more coherent story, the game's concept is so unique that it's worth experiencing for yourself. At number 11 we have Castle of Alchemists, a hybrid tower defense / action RPG where you play as Bellator, an alchemical warrior defending your castle from otherworldly invaders. Combining pixel art charm with chaotic real-time combat and strategic trap placement, it is a bold take on a classic genre. You'll find yourself in the thick of it, crafting gear with randomized effects, mutating abilities via a deep skill tree, and building an arsenal of traps and towers to slow, burn, zap, or explode anything that crosses your path. The game leans heavily on your active involvement. Enemies are tanky, and your towers alone will not cut it. You need to jump into battle and carry a lot of kill weight yourself. Boss fights are big, wild, and occasionally buggy, but bring genuine intensity. You'll need solid reflexes, especially in later levels with multiple lanes and sniper enemies. Progression can feel grindy, crafting can be RNG heavy, and UI quirks might leave you fumbling mid-combat. Still, if you push through the clunk, the core gameplay loop is satisfying, especially once you unlock synergies and unleash chaos across the battlefield. There is clear influence from Orcs Must Die, but with a more punishing, less polished edge. If you're chasing precision, balance, or a casual experience, this might frustrate you. But if you're after a scrappy, creative challenge where you're constantly moving, experimenting, and surviving by the skin of your teeth, Castle of Alchemists delivers a compelling and chaotic ride worth adding to your siege-hardened backlog. At number 12 we have SILT, a puzzle game heavily inspired by the atmospheric tension and monochrome aesthetic of Limbo and Inside. You play as a deep-sea diver exploring ruins within the watery abyss. Following the trend of its inspirations, the game offers a minimalist narrative, successfully creating a level of immersion where you figure things out by exploring the strange oceanic depths. The fun lies in uncovering the ancient mysteries and encountering the bizarre aquatic life, which serves as the core gameplay mechanic: possession. You possess most sea creatures by sending out a luminescent thread of your soul, using their unique functions, like piranha-like fish to chew through vines, or hard-headed fish to knock down rocks, to solve truly inventive puzzles. The controls are responsive, and swimming feels appropriately floaty, for the most part. The art design, done by the incredibly talented Mr. Mead, is the main reason you are so taken by this world. The eerie and haunting sketches create a twisted black and white aquatic world, making you ponder what leviathans lurk in the depths. The sound design is intentionally minimalistic, featuring subtle ambient aquatic noises and an occasional score that swells with the reveal of something grandiose, perfectly setting the stage for feelings of unease, horror, and majesty. However, a couple of chase sections can be frustrating, as all of the diver's movements must be executed with perfect, aggravating timing, meaning you should expect to die several times during those portions. For the most part, the game is more about the experience of uncovering the bizarre world than brain-stumping challenges. SILT is a relatively short experience, but is a gem that sticks with you. At number 13 we have Due Process, a tactical player versus player first-person shooter where sound strategy and good teamwork are essential for victory. You and your squad must discuss your strategy via voice chat during a planning phase, where you drop the attack and deploy assets wisely across 3 rounds. What makes this game unique is the delivery of new procedurally generated maps every week, ensuring you never face the same stale level twice, and that tactics truly matter. You can play as 2 distinct factions offering asymmetrical gameplay. The corporate military force, focused on speed and systematic elimination, or the cunning ragtag outlaws who lay traps and coordinate crossfire with rudimentary gear. This unique approach to tactical engagement makes for a compelling, fun, and difficult experience that many players find superior to games like Rainbow Six Siege. If you enjoy strong gunplay and a critical thinking challenge, this game is peak tactical FPS design. However, the game's brilliance is overshadowed by a critical, persistent flaw: the lack of players. You'll find that the community has dwindled, and the game is often described as dead, requiring you to organize private games or use external Discord servers to find a match. This reliance on an existing player base for a live service game that does not exist is its biggest downfall. Furthermore, a lack of consistent development, focusing on a pro scene rather than marketing, and poor netcode outside the US detract from the experience. While the core gameplay is fun, and the changing map layouts avoid a stale meta, the fact that you have to pay for a game you can barely queue for means you might not get to experience this tactical masterpiece. At number 14 we have Forward, Escape the Fold, Ultimate Edition. A compact but remarkably engaging roguelike dungeon crawler that thrives on its distilled, bite-sized design philosophy. It is a card-based experience that feels like a simplified, fast-paced fusion of Slay the Spire and Ring of Pain, asking only one thing of you: to keep moving forward. You choose your champion and face a relentless crawl, where your only action is selecting one of the 3 face-up cards at every turn. This simple one-put gameplay loop disguises a deeper strategic tension. Every choice is immediate and critical, whether you're moving toward an enemy, a chest, or a cursed item. Combat happens instantaneously, requiring you to carefully manage your health and armor as small rewards and punishments snowball into major shifts in survivability. The game respects your time. Runs are short, encouraging quick retries, and the victory is earned through a sequence of disciplined micro-decisions. You'll discover layers of replay value through 7 unlockable champions, each with unique powers that radically alter your playstyle, and over 100 detailed item cards. Experimenting with item combinations, balancing powerful perks against devastating curses, is one of the most satisfying aspects of the game. Visually, Forward uses crisp, colorful 2D pixel art that prioritizes readability, while the subtle soundtrack reinforces the game's tense atmosphere. While the game is near perfect in its focus, its simplicity can be a double-edged sword. Players seeking sprawling dungeons or complex skill trees may find the structure too lightweight, and the enemy variety is shallow. Furthermore, a current lack of cloud sync can frustrate you if you plan to play across multiple devices. Even so, the game is polished, balanced, and its addictive loop makes it the kind of title that invites you to squeeze in just one more run, proving its worth as a thoroughly enjoyable and intense strategy experience. At number 15 we have Townsmen, A Kingdom Rebuilt, a building simulation game. In this game, the fate of the land rests in your hands. As the ruler of your own community, you must build and manage a small town, eventually growing it into a medieval city. The game's graphics are bright and eye-catching, with well-organized controls and mechanics that make it a great addition to the world-building genre. When you begin playing, you'll start out with simple tasks and gradually unlock new missions and options as you progress. You'll need to balance your resources carefully, such as making sure your fields are a fertile ground to produce enough food for your growing population. If you build too quickly, you may find yourself out of money and forced to fire workers, which can negatively affect morale. Despite some minor hiccups, Townsmen: A Kingdom Rebuilt is a solid and visually pleasing medieval building simulation game that is easy to learn and offers solid gameplay. The game offers a top-down view of your community, with details that make the towns and cities look true to what you would imagine. Gameplay is simple to manage. You can easily click on buildings to perform actions such as putting out fires or adding workers to your construction project. Overall, Townsmen: A Kingdom Rebuilt is a fun game to play, without feeling too overburdened with menus or awkward setups. While some of the failure conditions can be strict at times, this does not detract significantly from the game's overall enjoyment. And that's all for this bundle. This Black Friday, secure this unbeatable bundle. 15 awesome indie games for only $15. This massive variety promises days, if not weeks of entertainment. explore the beautiful hand-drawn creepiness of Creaks, fight for survival as a fox parent in Endling, Extinction is Forever, or deploy military precision in a tactical FPS, Due Process. You can save big on this diverse, high-value library now. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.